Hey everybody, welcome back to Sasha Scents. My name is Sasha. On my channel, I mostly do fragrance reviews. I do occasionally some beauty and style, but my main passion is fragrance. So if you enjoy fragrances as well, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then you'll know each time I upload. What am I going to be talking about today? Well, my perfume haul. I went crazy. I bought so many fragrances. I think this is probably my biggest perfume haul I've ever done. I know I did one last year. I think I did like 11 or 12. So this is the first of the year and I did 14. 14 fragrances. Most of these are blind buys. I had no idea what they smelled like. I reviewed them. They sounded good. I kind of used my imagination, what they would smell like. And I was literally like a kid when the packages would arrive with the perfume. You know, I'd have to look around, make sure my husband wasn't around because he would have a fit with all the perfumes coming in. But I would take the box. I'd come up into my studio, rip the box open, and just smell it and see if it was exactly what I envisioned it to be. Most of these actually were. I enjoy most of them. There's a few that are like okay, but for the most part, 10 of these were blind buys. I think 4 were fragrances I had already smelled. So let's just get into it. I'm going to make this quick. This is not going to be an in-depth review of each fragrance. So if you were expecting that, or there's a fragrance you want me to do an in-depth review of, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to do that at a later date. So let's just do this quickly. I'll show you what I got, who the perfumer is, a couple notes in the fragrance, and what I think of it. Okay? Fair enough? All right, the first one that I want to talk about, this one is the FLOWERBOMB Ruby Orchid Eau de Parfum by Viktor and Rolf. This came out in 2021. I like the bottle. The perfumer is Domitil Michelon Berthier, and this fragrance was actually inspired by the glamour of the burlesque dancers, and that is according to the brand. Very interesting. Now, let's talk notes in here. Obviously, you're going to get that ruby flower accord. Definitely has the same DNA as the original. There's some juicy peach in here, which gives it a sweetness, but not too overly sweet. There's also red foxy vanilla bean. I love the vanilla in here. I would say this is probably best for the spring and summertime. You can wear this during the day, nighttime, date nights. It's just really fun, very flirty, very light. Now, performance-wise, this is where I had an issue with this fragrance. It projects nicely, but then it gets a lot closer to the body. I was a bit disappointed that it just did not last a very long time on me at all. So that was a bit of a disappointment. I'm curious, does anyone else out there have this fragrance? Do you have performance issues? Let me know. But this was a blind buy. It was fun getting this fragrance. And, it's nice. For me, it's a like, it's not a love. I had to play around with this one a little bit more just to really see. We'll see. Anyway, let's just move along to the next one. And that one is Musc Noir Rose For Her Eau de Parfum by Narciso Rodriguez. This came out in 2022. The perfumer is Sonia Constant. This is definitely a sensual fragrance. It's less dark than the original Musc Noir For Her. It's a lot lighter. If you love tuberose, this is a great fragrance. It has a beautiful tuberose, a bergamot. There's also vanilla in here, which is really, really nice. There's plum and rose. This reminds me a lot of the original Mon Guerlain from Guerlain. Yeah, a lot. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. Now, this is a year-round type of fragrance. You can wear this for date nights, nighttime. As far as the performance, oh gosh, it smells so good. It doesn't perform very well. Or it's not consistent, I should say. One day it lasted longer and then the next day it didn't. Anybody else out there have issues with this fragrance? And this was also a blind buy for me, but it's a great smelling fragrance. Is it a like or love? It's a love. Despite the performance, this is a love. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I'm just gonna have to douse myself. I cannot be a sissy sprayer with this one. That's for sure. All right, moving right along, we've got one by Coach, and that's Coach Wild Rose Eau de Parfum by Coach. This came out in 2022. You'll notice the little stagecoach on the bottle. They've got the C for coach and then the little leather tag. Really nice fragrance. Some of the notes in here, you have red currant. There's some bergamot, rose, as well as some jasmine sembec. There's some moss and some abroxan. This is that year-round, easygoing, likable scent. You can wear it to the office, errands. I think you could probably wear this at night, on a date night. Performance-wise, this was mediocre. No, that's not nice to say. What am I saying? It was good. It wasn't bad. I don't know why I had in my mind it was mediocre. No, this one was good. This actually lasted a little bit longer on my skin. It projected nicely. So I take that back, guys. This performs pretty well. Not groundbreaking, not like beast mode, definitely not. Very likable, easy to wear. Is it a love or like? This is a like for me. I enjoy it. Kind of play around with this one a little bit more, but all around a very easy fragrance to wear. I can't believe I said mediocre. Isn't that mean? All right. Next is another blind buy. That is A Very Good Girl Eau de Parfum by Carolina Herrera that came out in 2021. The perfumer for this is Quentin Biche, and I like this one a lot. It's got this gorgeous red currant, this exotic lychee. There's also some rose, vetiver, and vanilla bourbon. Many people have said this smells like Delina from Parfums de Marly. I have to confirm that is indeed true. However, they have some differences. You know, the Parfums de Marly, the Delina has definitely a more bright, more kind of uplifting, sparkly, bubbly opening, kind of like champagne with fruit. This one doesn't quite have that, but the dry down is very similar. They probably could be like cousins in a sense. There are a lot of similarities, but again, there are some main differences. Great fragrance, performs really well, projects really well, lasts on my skin a very long time. This is one of those fragrances that you could probably wear this one year-round, great for date nights, going out on the town, dancing, romantic dinners. It's just a fun, flirty type of fragrance. It's sexy, a little bit mysterious, a little bit naughty. Nice fragrance. Is it a like or love for me? This is a love. I really do like this one. I actually like it better than the original. All right, this one is not a blind buy. This one I have wanted for a long time and I have smelled it. And that is Black Orchid Eau de Parfum by Tom Ford. This actually came out in 2006. The perfumer for this one is Givaudan. And in this fragrance, there is that Black Orchid. It's really heavy. A lot of people describe this as being kind of goth-like. There's also a black truffle and patchouli. So if you love patchouli, you're going to really like it in this fragrance. Now, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago if I liked this, I would have turned my nose up at it. As a matter of fact, it made me gag when I first smelled it, and it made me feel a little bit nauseous. I'm just being really honest with you guys. And my nose has really matured since then, and I really appreciate the notes in here, and I think it's a great fragrance. It's not a fragrance I would recommend for a blind buy, by no means. You definitely have to smell this one first to see if you like this. The dry down is amazing, absolutely gorgeous. Longevity, fantastic. Projection, fantastic. This is a love for me without any doubt. Love it. All right, let's go with Coco Mademoiselle Intense Eau de Parfum by Chanel. The perfumer for this one is Olivier Pogue. This is a great fragrance. I used to own this one and then I got rid of it. And sometimes I do really dumb things, and that was a very dumb thing to do. And now I had to repurchase it. That's okay. I like this fragrance. Love the notes in here. You're getting this orange, you're getting rose, amber, tonka bean, and patchouli. And the patchouli in here is very earthy. And it blends with this vanilla, but the vanilla is not very strong in this fragrance. This is definitely a lot heavier than the original. The original is more light, airy, younger. It's like the younger sister. This is like the older sister, a little more serious, a little more mysterious, sexy. It's fun. Definitely something to wear probably in the fall, winter time. But I really like the earthiness of the patchouli in there. It almost has kind of like a dirty patchouli, if that makes sense, in a good way. And now I'm thinking of Maria Colette when she was doing things that perfume reviewers do. When I call myself Saint in a good way, you'll know what I mean. I'm going to put a link to her video in the description box. It's hilarious. Anyway, I really like this fragrance. It has great longevity, great projection. This is definitely a love for me. Really, really pretty. I love it. If you haven't had a chance to smell the intense version, I think you'll really like it as well, especially if you like patchouli. All right. Next, we're going with Florabotanica Eau de Parfum by Balenciaga. This came out in 2012. This is a stunning bottle. Something about this bottle I think is so cool. I think it's just beautiful. The perfumers for this fragrance are Olivier Pogue and Jean-Christophe Herrera. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to sound French, aren't I? Anyway, this is a bright floral green fragrance. It was originally aimed at a younger audience, but in my opinion, any age can wear this, really. It's just a matter of what makes you confident, what makes you feel good. It's so subjective. But let's talk about the notes in here. This opens with a gorgeous mint note. So if you like mint, you'll love this. It's very fresh. Oh, it smells so good. It mixes with this rose, carnation. There's also some cannabis, vetiver, and amber. This is a really sexy fragrance. It does remind me a lot of like a wet garden after a heavy rain. And the sun is drying this lush, green, beautiful, fresh garden. It just smells exquisite. I recommend this one for spring and summer. It performs really well, projects really well. This is a love for me. All right, moving right along, we are going with, ooh, this is cool. I like this one. This is Sam Edelman's Signature Eau de Parfum by Sam Edelman. This came out in 2021. This is the first fragrance for this designer, and I actually have a lot of Sam Edelman shoes. I love Sam Edelman. And if you guys didn't know this, I'm just as obsessed with shoes as I am perfume. I have a lot of shoes. But anyway, let's talk about the notes in this one. There's Mimosa Accord. Oh, look, I gotta show you the bottle. Look how cool that is. I should have pointed that out. Anyway, it is gorgeous. It has these beautiful airy florals in there. There's also a margarita froth. Doesn't that sound yummy right now, a margarita? Margarita froth, there's sandalwood and some heartwoods in here as well. This is extremely unique to me. It has a little hint of like Santal 33 in there with a lot more green, if that makes sense. I think this works great for spring and summer. Great signature scent, hence the name Signature. You guys would love this one, especially if you want something unique. Performance-wise, impressed. It projects well, it lasts on the skin, it lasts a really long time on the clothes, and this is a love for me. This was also a blind buy, and I couldn't be more happy with it. It's fantastic. All right, moving right along, I think we're gonna go with Kenzo. All right, this one is the Kenzo World Power Eau de Parfum by Kenzo. This came out in 2019. It's the flanker for the original Kenzo World that came out in 2016. The perfumer for this one is Jerome Di Marino. This is a very fun fragrance. It's a little bit on the masculine side, although it's targeted towards women. Let's talk about the notes in here. When you smell it, you're going to get this cypress note that mixes with like a sea salt. Oh, it's so good. It doesn't smell like Olympia, but it could be like a distant cousin, that saltiness. There's also tonka bean in here. It smells kind of like a Mediterranean holiday, if that makes sense. You could probably wear this one, I believe, year-round, although I think it leans a little bit more for the fall and winter because of the heaviness in here, and you could definitely wear it now, the early spring. Performance-wise, performs really nice, pass in arm's length, projection, and then it surrounds you in this bubble. That's really, really nice, although that bubble doesn't last a really long time, only a few hours. I wish the performance was better. This is a like for me, not a love. Okay, let's keep going. The next one I have is Replica by the Fireplace, Eau de Toilette by Maison Margiela. This came out in 2015. The perfumer is Marie Salamage, and this smells just like a crackling fireplace on a cold morning. This reminds me of when I was a kid, our neighborhood, all the families would get together and they'd make this big bonfire in the back. And one of the dads would bring his guitar, we'd all sing, and when we'd get back home, it'd be time for bed. You'd smell your hair and you could smell the smoke from that crackling fire. It reminds me of this. And then roasting marshmallows. There's a little bit of sweetness in here as well. It's an all-around really nice fragrance. The notes in here are beautiful. There's some chestnut. There's some woody accords, vanilla. There's red berries, orange blossom, and neroli. It's super cozy. It's inviting and perfect for fall and winter. Great performance on this one, long lasting. This is a love for me. All right, next, we're getting into Vanilla Woods Eau de Parfum by the Seven Virtues. This came out in 2018, and the perfumer is Angela Stavrevska. I think I pronounced her name correctly. This is a yummy, warm, spicy gourmand, and this is considered a clean fragrance, which means that there's no added, harmful chemicals in there. It's in clean beauty at Sephora. It was a blind buy as well. And I should mention, By the Fireplace was not a blind buy. I had smelled that one before. But this was the blind buy. Let's talk about the notes in here. Has some really nice notes. It's got this beautiful pear that's juicy and sweet. And if you like sweet, this is sweet, sweet, sweet. There's also some rose. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Vanilla, amber, there's caramel. It smells like dessert, and benzoin. This is great for the fall, winter, early springtime. Performs really, really well. I was impressed with the longevity and the projection on this. This is a love for me. A blind buy love. So if you get the chance, go check it out at Sephora. I think you're going to love this one, especially if you love sweet. All right, moving right along, we've got Arizona Eau de Parfum by Proenza and SCHOULER. This came out in 2018. This is a first fragrance for the design house. They make some incredible clothes. If you get the chance, check out their website. Their clothes are exquisite, like stunning, cool, different, but very expensive. But they created this. It was released in 2018. It won an award. It's a very stunning, feminine type of fragrance. It's got some mandarin orange in here. There's bergamot and a cactus flower. It's really, really pretty. It also has some orange blossom and strawberry. So if you like strawberry, you'll pick up a little bit in here. There's cashmere, musk, and vanilla as well. This is more for like spring and summertime, but if you wanted to, you probably could get away wearing this year round, just depending on where you live. Performance-wise, it's not the best performer. It is very close to the skin. It actually becomes more of a skin scent, and the fragrance itself does not last a very long time. This was a blind buy. A little disappointed in this one, so it's just a like for me. I don't love this one. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this one. I'm not sure. All right, moving right along, we have Missoni Eau de Parfum by Missoni that came out in 2015. The perfumer for this is Quentin Biche, and he is one of my favorite perfumers. I love a lot of the fragrances that he's created over the years. The notes in here, you've got some pear, some citron, some lemon, there's jasmine, tonka bean, petalia. It's beautiful. It smells really, really pretty. And there's also some sandalwood in here. This is one of those fragrances that can be worn year round for any occasion. It just fits in wherever you want to wear it. If you want to put that black dress on, go out, or you just want to go shopping with friends, it works either way. Performance-wise, this one was weak. It does not perform very well. I was really disappointed, especially since I love Quentin Biche. It maybe lasted 2 hours on me. It projects very poorly. So this was kind of a flop out of all of them. This one probably was the one I liked the least. I don't know, does anybody else have this one? What are your thoughts? I read a lot of people said that this was a very complex fragrance, lasted a long time. I just don't get it with this one. So this is just a like for me. And then we're moving on to the last one, which is Sparkling Hibiscus. And this is by Mix Bar. This is the Eau de Parfum Mix Bar. You can find at Target. It's very affordable. They make a lot of fragrances that you can mix together. And this one smells really, really nice. I like the hibiscus in here mixed with a champagne note. There's also some bergamot, some cashmere, and musk. You can wear this one for spring, summer, but if you wanted to wear this in fall, winter, mix it with their vanilla bourbon or their wood elixir to create a heavier fragrance. This projects nicely and it lasts on my skin. It has moderate longevity. And is this a like or love for me? I would say this is a strong like. All right, there you have my perfume haul. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed sharing these fragrances with you. Would love to know what you've bought this year so far. Any recommendations, definitely mention it down below. I read all my comments. I try to get back to everybody. Thank you so much for watching my video. And remember, one spray can totally change your day. I'll see you again real soon.